So it looks like we got some more layoffs in the gaming industry. So as you can see right here, Netflix closes game studios in California. And then we also have another article that I had seen from a few days ago. Riot Games lays off number of League of Legends developers. So it is one of those things that it's really telling of the gaming industry because I had done a video a few months like a month ago, like a few weeks back. It was on September 14th, talking about how Microsoft was laying off a bunch of its employees. So in that video, I had to double check just to rewatch it real quick just to see. I have the game industry layoffs here that we have, and at the time when I did that video, the layoffs right here were estimated at about 12,700. And as you can see now, we're about 13,000. So that's another 300 people that had lost their jobs. Now, when you look at the grand scheme of things, as far as like how big these numbers are, 12,000, and then adding the 13,300, like it doesn't seem like a lot. But you got to keep in mind, those are 300 people that have lost their jobs. So that's another 300 people that are out of work. I mean, I'm sure some of them will probably be able to figure something out as far as, something similar into the industry and everything like that. But there's a big chance a lot of them are probably just going to have to call it quits. And that's extremely unfortunate. I mean, granted, we're gonna check this one out right here. So Netflix's, because you gotta think it's a streaming service. There's really no need for them to try to get into the gaming industry. And I never checked out Netflix's gaming industry or what it was about. From the little pictures you're kind of seeing from the background right here, it almost looks like kind of some mobile games, which wouldn't be too surprising considering that Netflix again is a streaming service. So it's not like you're gonna be seeing like Call of Duty or like Fortnite or something on there. But still, that's unfortunate, and it is. But at the same time, it is one of those things like, what the hell is Netflix thinking, trying to get into the gaming industry? I get it, the gaming industry, it's booming, and it's one of the most profitable industries. I mean, it's doing better than music, movies, television. I'm pretty sure all combined. Like they're still making a higher revenue than all of them combined, but it's a tricky game. You can't just get into it and then think like, oh, we're just gonna start, dishing out like little, mobile games like this and people are gonna buy it. I mean, maybe if this was like in India, that'll probably be the case because I'm pretty sure there's more mobile players out there than there is regular console players. But still, like the gaming industry, it's not kind to those that aren't able to really push out some good products and stuff like that. That's why a lot of people have been talking about when it comes down to like the movie industry, how it's one of those things where you can dish out a few movies here and there, and the what is it, the studios will still be able to be able to have some type of profit if they're able to make one or two movies that are still end up doing well. Then yeah, they can dish out like a few that won't be too well, that might flop, and they'll be okay. It's not the same for the gaming industry. It's one of those things, if you come out with a bad game, there's a lot of studios that they can go under just from that one bad game. So it's very telling of how the gaming industry is, and you gotta be very careful and very very wary of how you go about it. So figured it was something we can talk about, and then we'll just read this little article right here. So it would seem as though another studio has fallen victim to the showdowns within the gaming industry. Netflix game studio in Southern California has officially shut down less than 2 years after opening. The news was first broken by Steven Totillo, the game file, and comes amidst the fickle industry of layoffs. Started in 2022, the studio, internally known as Team Blue, was created alongside all the other ventures Netflix has, and the company was invested this money into many different avenues over the last few years. However, it looks as if the gaming might be the burst of the popular streaming service. The company had made some big hires over the last few years, hinting at some of the next level gaming hardware and games to come in the future, with names like former Halo creative lead Joseph Staten and some others joining the team. Many believe that Netflix had its foot well within the door of the gaming world, and that's, I mean, kind of that. At least they at least tried to get some good people that knew what they were doing as far as the gaming industry and everything like that. But at the end of the day, like you're a streaming service, man. Like you're not a gaming company or gaming, team. So it is one of those things. You got to think like when it comes down to streaming and kind of doing the games in that direction, unless you're someone that has like really great internet connection and you can really handle that, there's kind of been examples where gaming isn't really like the best when it comes to streaming. Yeah, you got like Steam and like GOG, good old games, um where you can do like the old school games, or kind of like where Steam, they can kind of do the newer games. But I've heard even with Steam sometimes there is the potential for there to be lag and everything like that, as opposed to being able to play like on a console or an actual PC with the games itself. So the fact that it's falling under with Netflix, it is one of those things where it's like it's unfortunate, but at the same time it's not really surprising. Like you gotta know the market more or less. So yeah, that's unfortunate that they just had to lay off a whole bunch of people because of it. So let's go ahead and continue on. Now, through the company is offering shutting down in its California studios, wiping out the entire team that has created. All of this has been confirmed by Netflix representative to Tortillo. So what's next? This leaves many with the question, what's next? Will Netflix continue to stride towards success in the world of gaming development, or will they put their money elsewhere? Personally, I think they shouldn't go in that direction. Gaming is not like, when you think of Netflix, you don't think of gaming. And I'm sure that there's potential for that to change in the future if they were to try to go back and do something like that. But you guys are movies. You guys are a streaming service with movies and TV shows. Stick with that. Know your audience and stick with what you do well. Like, and I get it. It's pretty. It can be admirable for them to try to venture off into other areas, but not gaming, man. Just leave gaming as it is and just continue to do your thing as far as like entertainment goes for movies and TV shows. And again, we'll continue on. While this ultimately might close some doors for the company, Netflix is still on the largest streaming platforms out there. One studio closing, it will more than likely not hurt the company in hindsight. Exactly. And like I said, just you guys are doing well with what you're doing as is. Like, don't try to venture off too much into elsewhere. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, and you guys should be good in that direction. Just don't mess with gaming, please, especially with the way that the industry is right now. So many people are skeptical, and a lot of people, with the economy the way it is, not a lot of people are willing to just spend their money elsewhere. People are going to stick with what they know. They're going to stick with Microsoft, they're going to stick with Sony, they're going to stick with Nintendo. Yeah, and again, you guys have been in the industry for 2 years. More than likely, if you haven't been able to make a dent, because I mean, I've never really heard anyone talk about Netflix as far as gaming goes. So just like I said, stick with what you know, in my humble opinion. And then the last part right here. Will we ever get to know what Netflix Game Studios was working on, though? What do you think of Netflix shutting its AAA studios? Let us know below in the official Insider Games forum. And that's it again right there at the last part right here, the AAA studios. If you're gonna be doing gaming, like especially with like Netflix, AAA probably isn't the best way to go, because you guys, you're not used to doing this type of stuff. So if you were to, if at least in my opinion, if Netflix was to try to go into the gaming industry, I'd say start off small, maybe do like some indie type games or something in that regard, and then try to work your way up if you wanted to go that direction. But just trying to come in and start doing AAA games, I don't recommend it, because that's how you put in a lot of money. It takes a lot of time to develop video games, and if it doesn't do well, then there's potential for it to flop, and it's potential for it to you guys to lose a lot of money, especially with like, and I mean, I'm sorry, I might lose some people here, but like with Netflix, because they're the type of company that will kind of go that DEI direction and kind of do I'll say the whole woke thing, where they'll try to put a strong female lead kind of a thing, and do the hero's journey kind of direction. So, yeah, with things like that, there's a lot of potential to lose a lot of money. So, like I said, just stick with what you're doing, and just kind of keep with movies and TV shows and that kind of stuff, and just your streaming service. Don't really get into video games. So, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think that, Netflix should be sticking with video games and trying to make something happen? Or do you guys feel kind of similar to what I feel, which is to just stick with what they know, which is movies and video games? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.